So the one they sent me was indeed the unicorn that was 25% off the entire purchase.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited. I'm about to go to Harbor Freight and buy something that I've wanted to buy for a very, very, very long time, to say the least. A few days ago, I got to go visit my friends at Treadwear, and when I was there, they really inspired me. They inspired me to go get something. What I didn't share in that video is, I'm going to start by saying I have the world's most supportive wife. I know I tell you guys all the time, but I don't think you guys understand. My wife, doing this, what I'm doing right now, she is the most supportive person I have. She's always encouraging me, always asking, hey, what can we be doing next? What do you need to be doing? What do you need from me? Her grandmother passed away. That's the reason we were on our way to Florida. And I got to meet Michael on Power Tour, and he's like, hey, if you guys are ever, like, we're in Alabama, so whenever you guys are visiting your wife's family, stop on by. We'd love to have you guys. And Michael and I were talking a little bit back and forth because I was like, you need to get this set up when we can go, because we're supposed to go down for Christmas. Then with her grandmother passing away, Michael wasn't going to be available for Christmas. So we're talking. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, would you mind? I know this is insane. They're available on Thursday when we're driving down. She's like, yeah, let's go do this. And once again, Michael and Lee, you guys were amazing. And my wife, it was a breath of fresh air for her because it broke up the trip, and she really enjoyed getting to know you guys, hanging out, and you guys letting us just crash at your shop and hang out for a couple hours. So I was there. If you guys aren't following Treadwear, once again, what are you waiting for? You need to be following them. They do a lot of, well, their business is the tire graphics, but they also have got, go watch the other video. It makes more sense there. They do tire graphics that are absolutely amazing, but to show off the tire graphics, they do custom builds. And I was watching them. I've been watching for a while, but seeing them, like, I need to get a welder. I have not welded since high school, and I took advanced and basic metals that I should have paid a lot more attention to in 2001 and 2002 and graduated in 03. So we're talking 20 some years ago was the last time I played with a welder. So I am going to Harbor Freight right now to go buy the titanium welder. It's the basic welder, so I can practice, and that's what I need to do. I need to practice welding, and it plugs into a 120 outlet. And for most of you guys know, my shop does not have electric, so I need to find creative ways to make that happen, and a 120 outlet is everywhere around my house, so I can get creative.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This video is one that I've been working on for a couple of months. And actually, I filmed it over the last few months, and I went to edit it yesterday and realized it was way too choppy, so we're starting over. Back in December, Harbor Freight sent me the unicorn coupon. You know, the one that everybody says doesn't exist, but they say it does exist because their cousin's uncle or brother saw it. It's kind of like the Sasquatch. We're like, I know I saw it. It was definitely not a bear. It's real. The coupon I'm talking about is a 25% off, no exclusions coupon of your entire purchase. Now, occasionally they will release a 25% off coupon, but there's usually a lot of exclusions, or it's on one item. Well, they sent me this back in December. So the one they sent me was indeed the unicorn that was 25% off the entire purchase. And this is what I bought with it. The titanium 125 flux core welder. This is something I've wanted since Harbor Freight released it a couple years ago. And I just didn't have a way to get it, and just didn't really have a reason to get it until now, because I'm going to need it for that. I've done a lot of research on welders in the last couple of years, just like I did with the toolboxes. And if you want to get started in welding, or if you're like me that haven't welded since high school, like in 2001 or 2, this is a great way to start. It plugs into a regular house outlet. So a regular outlet. Of course, I'm going to drop the ground cord in. This plugs into a regular outlet, so you don't have to worry about having any of the crazy plugs you do in the regular welders. And it's fairly inexpensive. I think without a coupon, this is $168. It's super lightweight, and this entire setup was under $300. And that's what got me really excited about this, because I've been wanting to get into welding, and I know some of you in the comments are like, it's a flux core, you should have went with a MIG, or one that you can do MIG and TIG. I get that, and eventually I do want to upgrade to one of those ones that I can plug the MIG or the TIG in there, because I get it, when you're welding the gases help not to create such a mess. But for guys like me and a lot of you guys out there watching this, you don't have the budget or the room to do it, and you're just trying to see, do I really want a welder? And if I do weld, it's something basic right now. So I said this welder is pretty awesome. I also got this Chicago electric welding helmet. This is an auto darkening one. It's got these really cool graphics on it that I'm pretty excited about. And when I was welding in high school, I don't think we had auto darkening, so I actually tried this with lighters to see. It works really well. It goes dark as soon as it sees that spark, which is really fun. I also got these Defender Vulcan gloves because you want to make sure your hands stay safe and don't get burned when you're welding. I also picked up these Burger pliers, Burger pliers. They are designed for welding, and yes, I have a bunch of pliers and cutters, but these ones were supposed to be for specifically welding, for cutting the wire when you screw up or when it gets stuck, or when you're trying to feed it through the gun. Shh. I really like how compact this setup is. Like I said, I have not welded in a very long time, and for under $300, I really don't think you can beat this. Let's get in and take a closer look. Hey, have you subscribed yet? If you haven't, you should go ahead and smash that subscribe button, because there is so much stuff coming up in 2024, and if you're not subscribed, you might miss it.
All right, guys, let's get you a little closer. This is the setup. So this cart is their basic cart, but I like it for what I need on this. I didn't want to go crazy, so that's why I went with the lower model cart, but I wanted something that kind of, still spin around. It's got these little swivel wheels on the bottom. So you got your gauges here, and this is the biggest difference, I think, from the Chicago electric version and the titanium, is your wire speed. So I think it only has your gauge. I think this is for gauges. Here, let's pop the hood. Let's pop the hood on this bad boy. So under the hood, we've got your duty cycle, lets you know how long you can be welding for before it wants to shut off. I think that's how that works. It shows you how to feed the wire, and it lets you know what control you need to have it on for what you're trying to weld. And it says it can weld up to 3/16 thick steel. That's pretty thick for this little guy. And yes, I know my wire's a little wonky, but I have not set one of these up for. It's the first time I ever did this. It's still feeding, and when I finally get to try welding, we'll see how well this works. But it's a really clean design. So, little cart here, and you got 2 trays that you can put your different things you need. Like I put the gloves here, and you got extra storage down in here. And actually, if you have a MIG welder, it's actually designed to put a bottle back here. That's what the chains are for. Obviously, this one you can't hook up a MIG gas to. But I really like this setup. So it's not the fanciest, but I think this is gonna help me be able to work on that very soon, because we are going to be doing a Tahoe swap to Heritage. We're gonna find a early 2000s Tahoe, cut off the body, and then drop this body on top of it. Super excited. That's why I'm really excited to get this. And said, man, look, can you guys see that? Look at that metallic on that helmet. That looks pretty dang cool.
Overall, I'm really happy with the setup. The only thing I need to get next is their welding table, which I didn't want to go crazy. I could have bought it, but I wanted to stay under a certain price. So that's why I only got this. But eventually, in the next month or so, I'd really like to get the welding table so I can really start practicing. Super excited to have this. I like this because it's simple, and eventually I think this would be a great machine for my kids to even learn how to weld. Obviously, we're going to get 1 or 2 more helmets, so that way they can either watch or learn too. I'm going to be watching a lot of YouTube videos. One of my goals eventually is to build some sort of recovery truck for going to buy some of these marketplace finds that I do, and maybe throw this in one of the boxes with an inverter, so if we have something we got to weld on to get it up on the trailer, I think this would do the job, and it's so light. I'm really excited about this, guys. I cannot wait to get practicing on welding and just really remember how to do it and just have some fun. I'm probably going to start out with some kind of yard art or different things with scrap metal. If you guys have any suggestions, I have not welded in years, please drop them in the comments. Let me know some things that I might need, or some different techniques that you know that would be helpful for me. Any advice is greatly appreciated because I have not done this in several years. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, happy hunting, everybody.